Tiger Brands says consumers can return certain KOO and Hugo's canned vegetable products produced between the period 1 May 2019 to 5 May 2021 to any retailer or wholesalers. Now, they'll be given a full refund. No proof of purchase is required. The group recalled the products due to defective cans supplied by a packaging supplier. Now, according to them, these cans, this may have a side seam weld that could cause the can to leak. Now, the company identifying the issue as part of its internal quality assurance processes. Now, this recall amounts to about 9% of the annual production, and the final impact is estimated to amount to up to 650 million rand. Well, for more on this story, we're joined now by the Consumer Goods and Services Ombudsman, Magauta Mphahlele. Mphahlele, thank you very much for your time and indeed for your patience. We have been waiting for quite a bit. Let's just start with the inspection. Consumers who may not have seen the statement from Tiger Brands, nor would have read a newspaper, for example, what are the things to look out for as they inspect that can?
Well, I think the Tiger Brands has given out an instruction of the types of products that are subject to the recall as well as the date. So I think that is what consumers should look out for. We have also published the notice in all our social media platforms so that it can reach as many consumers as possible.
Now, as the consumer ombuds, you have the task of making sure that you come in where a consumer comes to you to say, I'm experiencing health issues as a result of having consumed a can of KOO baked beans, for example. What recourse do they have?
Well, Section 61 of the Consumer Protection Act does hold either a supplier or retailer or manufacturer of goods liable for any injury or death to a person as well as consequential damages as a result of either the illness or the death of the consumer. People must understand that we are an alternative dispute resolution agent. There is the National Consumer Commission, which is the regulator, and Section 60 does mandate either a voluntary recall where the manufacturer has identified a defect in the product, which is what is happening now. But the regulator can also force a recall if they, based on complaints or any other intelligence, identify that there might be a problem with a specific product. So yes, consumers can come and lodge a complaint to us if they eat something and it makes them ill, but we are not an adjudicator. We can facilitate the resolution of the dispute between the consumer and the supplier. But I think in this case it's easy because Tiger Brands has said there is a problem, but there hasn't been any reports of any illnesses as a result of people ingesting those products. But should there be anything, I think that they will then take responsibility and compensate consumers other than a refund, because a refund is where you have not ingested the product, nothing has happened. But if you do eat it, and something happens to you, then I think Tiger Brands will be liable.
Ms. Mphahlele, I'm thinking here of a consumer who lives in far-flung areas in the Eastern Cape, somewhere, KwaPaca, and they have bought this thing. They are completely clueless about what is going on right now. They consume that product and they fall ill. Do you think the company has done enough to say that the list of affected products is on the website and you also can go on social media? That person probably doesn't even know how social media works. Has the company done enough, and do they need to go the extra mile? Because 20 million of these products that are out there, it's anyone's prediction to say where could they be right now.
Yeah, I think they need to communicate with their distribution points, all over South Africa. And I think, we voluntarily took responsibility to pass on the message. And South Africa, all the 9 provinces, we have consumer protection officers that are able to reach out to even rural consumers. We have other regulators. So I think they need to do that, but we also need to assist to make sure that we can reach as many consumers as possible. And as a community of regulators, of ombudsmen, we should be doing that as well. Yes.
Perhaps as we conclude our conversation, let's talk about if and when that unfortunate incident does come about where a person has consumed this product and they end up falling ill and, well, God forbid, someone dies. What is the process and how long will it take for this to be proven that the cause of death might have been as a result of consuming a tin of KOO baked beans?
The only thing that an act requires is that you need to prove that the food that you ate caused the illness. So you need to keep a sample of the food. You need to immediately go to a doctor or somewhere where they can do a test to prove that the illness was caused by that specific product. And that's all you need in order to be able to lodge your claim. You don't have to prove that the supplier was negligent or what happened at the production site. No. We need to only link the illness to that specific product. And if that link is established, then the supplier is responsible for damages, for the cost of either the death. Damages have to be quantified and they have to be approved by a court, or in some instances, through mediation, the parties can agree what the damages can be, and that would be then the end of the matter.
Right, Magauta Mphahlele, thank you very much for your time. She is the Consumer Goods and Services Ombudsman, talking to us about what are some of your rights if and when you are affected and you perhaps would not have noticed that Tiger Brands has recalled 20 million canned products.